Selena, the TV series. This is a Netflix original series that was just released this past Friday on December the 4th. It was produced with Selena's father Abraham and her sister Suzette from a screenplay by Moises Zamora. Based on the early life of Selena, it is the only version that's authorized by Selena's family. It consists of 9 episodes ranging anywhere from 32 to 38 minutes each. I did have a chance to watch the entire series actually the same night it came out on Friday, so I wanted to have a chance to talk about my thoughts on it. First off, if you're a Selena fan, I think obviously you're going to enjoy this because it's just more telling of the Selena story that we pretty much already know at this point, at least the base facts. This with it being a series opposed to the 2 hour movie, uh, the Jennifer Lopez movie in '97, they're able to actually flesh this out quite a bit more. So we see a lot more of her early childhood. I believe the first part ranges from 1978 to about 1991. So we get to see not we spend a lot more time with her dad kind of molding the kids into the band that they were gonna ultimately be, and you actually get to see more of what the band had to go through to get to just very early successes with touring Texas and doing shows and then eventually releasing Selena's first album. In the first couple episodes, we get to see a little bit more of Abraham discovers Selena's vocal talent and immediately starts to work with her. And so we see more of those moments, and then we get to see the birth of AB's musical writing talent and him learning bass, and then eventually how Suzette was suggested to play drums. And by episode 2, we're introduced to Christian Serratos playing a very young Selena in her teens, actually. I believe the date that flashes up is around 1985, 86. So that put her about 14, 15 years old. Obviously, you have to suspend disbelief and just accept that, Christian Serratos, I believe, is in her early 30s, and she's playing someone that's half her age. Honestly, it doesn't look that bad. It's not that distracting. It's almost kind of believable. They do a good job with making her. Her acting is decent enough. It's good enough to where she does play a teen well, and just the way they made her up, it's believable. And of course, you look past that and you continue to follow the story. What I noticed immediately is the series tends to focus more on Selena's father, Abraham, who's played by Ricardo Caveira. I've never seen the actor before. He's in shows. He was in Desperate Housewives, which I obviously never watched, so I wasn't familiar with the actor. He does a good job, but the narrative is a lot from his perspective. I mean, I don't know, not just his perspective, but you get to see it almost seems like Abraham, the real life Abraham, might have had a lot of say in the way they put this part together with his character. He There's a lot of him, you know. Obviously, he was a dominating figure for the family and the kids, and molding them into the band that he wanted them to be. It reminded me a lot of the Jackson Five, that story with Joe Jackson. The actor plays Abraham great. I mean, I didn't have any issues with all of the scenes. And another standout actor. There's three main, obviously. In my opinion, there's three characters that stand out through all these 9 episodes, and that's obviously Selena, Christian Serratos. You got Ricardo Caveira as Abraham, and then Gabriel. Forgive me if I mispronounce this. Cavaria as AB. Uh, you get to see how I was impressed to how much they were showing AB's involvement in a lot of this music, and basically Abraham had him AB write all the songs and or most of the songs, a lot of the hits, and he had the pressure of continuing to produce content and songs for Selena to just sing, which I was aware of AB's writing involvement in most of Selena's songs, but it was interesting to see how he would come up with the ideas of a lot of these songs that I didn't know, so that I did learn something new in that regard. Now, as for the look of the series, this is my first impression watching the first couple episodes is that it kind of puts off like this like Lifetime Channel type feel. The acting, even the title card that opens up the episode after the opening scene of each episode, you have the title card. Selena the series comes up, and it kind of gives off that Lifetime Channel vibe. But I immediately got over that, and I was drawn in. Christian Serrato's, in my opinion, does fine. Like her look, they stay true to Selena's different physical appearances and the way she looked throughout these years growing up. They do a good job with keeping that period accurate with her hairstyles and the clothing and whatnot. Even the recreations of the early albums, Selena's first and second album, they did a pretty good job with recreating those images. As you can see, there's a couple details that are off. Like the album name might be on this corner, and then Selena's name is on the other side of the disc. And I don't know why they decided to change. It's not exactly accurate, but I thought they did a pretty good job. And they show the release of the first album. They show the actual photo shoot of her out in the open desert, and her initially, and Abraham initially not liking the photo shoot. It just wasn't Selena in their eyes. But so that was interesting to kind of see how that photo shoot was done, and then eventually they accepted it. Of course, in the second album, she does decide to cut her hair right before, and that explains why she has a different haircut on the second album. So that was good to see. And with that, part one of this series, it is basically a coming of age story, and you get to see Selena find herself as an artist, changing her look and her hair throughout. And it was just nice to see them flesh that out. You get a lot of background as to why she looked this way and during these years and whatnot. I won't get into too many details as when the series, the part one ends. I mean, I did say earlier it ends around the year 1991, maybe early 1992. Um, I'll just say like it's around the time where the song "Como la Flor" was being written. We get to see the birth of that song coming to fruition with AB. And then so right around that time is when the series ends, and we will get a series two, a part two. I don't know when. I don't believe there is official announcement date. It's probably going to play out like a lot of TV series do with different seasons, and they have to produce. They probably haven't even filmed it. It's got to be completely written and all. So it might even be another solid year before we even see part two. But part two should flesh out. If they're only going to do two parts, then that would be the rest of her life, the last 3 years of her life. The other thing I wanted to point out, and this is going back to the look of the show, is location. And what I'm pretty sure is a set piece. We do get to see their early Lake Jackson home, and then they move to Corpus Christi, and we get to see those houses that we all are very familiar with, the Quintanilla family home, and then of course right next to the right of it is the home that eventually Selena and Chris will buy and live in. And we see that corner of Bloomington Street quite a bit of times in establishing shots throughout. And the first thing I notice is the shot, like all about that corner. It looks really clean and everything about it screams set piece. So I'm 99% sure that what we're seeing there is definitely replicated in a backlot somewhere. They did a really good job, though. I mean, if you're not paying attention, it looks. But I was recently there, as some of you might know if you watched my previous Selena videos. I was recently um, in Corpus, and I covered Bloomington Street, and the way it looks today is nothing like it does in this movie. Now, obviously, the productions can clean up streets and houses and make them look like they want for their production, but I'm pretty sure that this was a set piece. These are details that I pay attention to because I'm a big location geek, as some of you might know if you watch my previous videos. But other than that, I enjoyed this first part one of this series. I'm a big Selena fan. The story of Selena more so. What an incredible talent, and I will watch her story told in different ways. If they just keep telling you, I'll probably watch it. So that's exactly how I felt with this. Going into it, it's not getting rave reviews. I believe it's about 46%, maybe 43% on Rotten Tomatoes. But I don't pay attention to that so much. I wanted to form my own opinion, and I think it's natural for us to, or for most to, compare this to the film. But which the film is good for what they did with the film in 2 hours was great. But I like this because we get to see a lot more fleshing out of a lot of these quick events that were in the film. We get to see them a lot more fleshed out in 9, 35, 37-minute episodes. So basically, what I'm saying is, I think any fan of Selena is going to enjoy this series. Uh, I think any new content uh, that tells a Selena story will be the true fans will be the first to watch it. So I think if you can just go in there with not with an open mind, and not try to immediately want to compare Christian Serratos to Jennifer Lopez, or this show to the movie, I think you'll enjoy it for what it is. And with that, I look forward to part two, which I think will probably dive more into the struggle of Selena and Chris's relationship, and having Abraham's acceptance eventually. And I think we'll see a lot more music as far as like concerts, and then of course the release of her more popular albums. So I recommend it if you're a Selena fan. Give this a shot. I think you'll enjoy it for what it is. If you're new to the Selena story and you love her music, watch this, and I think you'll probably even become a bigger fan. So that's it. Those are pretty much my thoughts on part one of the series. I did enjoy it. And for any of you that haven't seen my other Selena videos, I will tack them on the end of this video here that you can just click and watch. Especially if you're interested in Selena's life in Corpus Christi, and a lot of the prominent locations, what they look like today. I do visit those, and cover those in detail, like in a then and now style. Also do revisit the former Days Inn, where Selena, spent her last few hours of her life and was tragically taken. I do retrace her steps there, and then of course end it with a visit to her grave to pay my respects. But anyway, that's it. Watch the show. I think you'll enjoy it, and until next time, take care.